Something is on your mind today. I can see it before you even say anything.
Is it that obvious? I was trying to look completely normal. I even got here early, which I basically never do, so I thought that was a good sign.
Getting somewhere early does not always mean everything is fine. Sometimes it means a person needed to get out of their own space. What happened?
Nothing dramatic. That's kind of the problem, actually. I was looking at photos on my phone last night, just going back through the year, and I had this strange feeling, like the year just happened to me. I didn't really happen to the year, if that makes any sense.
It makes complete sense. That feeling has a name. It's called passive living, and it's much more common than most people realize, especially for people who are busy but not necessarily purposeful.
Busy but not purposeful. Yeah, that's uncomfortably accurate. I'm always doing something, I'm always moving, but when I actually look back, I'm not sure I was moving toward anything.
That gap between movement and direction is exactly where time starts to feel like it's escaping. Can I ask you something directly?
Please, that's literally why I'm here.
When you imagine managing your time better, what does that actually look like to you? What changes in your daily life?
Honestly, I think I imagined having more of it. Like if I just got more organized, I would somehow find extra hours. But even as I say that out loud, I know that's not really the issue.
What do you think the real issue is?
I think the real issue is that I have enough time. I probably have more free time than a lot of people I know, but it just disappears. I'll sit down on a Sunday afternoon with nothing urgent, and somehow it's dark outside before I've done anything I actually wanted to do. It's not that I need more time, it's more like I don't know how to hold on to the time I already have.
That's a genuinely important distinction, and I want to stay with it for a moment, because most conversations about time management skip straight past it. The problem for you is not scarcity, it's porousness. Time is leaking through gaps you haven't examined yet.
Porousness. That's a new word for me, but I actually understand it immediately. That's exactly what it feels like holding water in your hands and watching it go and not knowing where it went.
And here's the interesting thing about that image. Water doesn't choose to fall, it just follows the path of least resistance. Time does the same thing. It flows toward whatever you've made easiest, not necessarily toward what matters most to you.
So you're saying the problem is not discipline. It's more about what I've made easy versus what I've made difficult.
Partly, yes. But before we even get to structure and habits, I always want to ask the question that most people skip. What do you actually value? Not what you think you should value, not what looks good to say out loud. What genuinely matters to you when no one is watching?
That question is harder than it sounds. I thought I knew the answer, but now I'm sitting here and I'm actually not sure I do.
Most people are not sure, and that uncertainty is not a character flaw. It's actually the beginning of something useful. Because if you don't know what you value, you can't protect the time for it. You end up protecting nothing in particular.
And then a year passes and you look at photos and feel like a stranger to yourself. Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand what I've actually been anxious about. It's not really time, it's the feeling that I'm not choosing my own life, like things are just happening around me and I'm reacting.
That awareness alone is significant. A lot of people never get to that sentence. They stay frustrated at the surface, the phone, the distractions, the schedule, without ever asking the deeper question. You've just asked it.
It doesn't feel like enough, though. Understanding something and actually changing it are pretty different things.
They are, and the distance between them is where most people give up. But here's what I want you to consider. Change begins with one honest decision, one thing you choose deliberately instead of letting happen by default.
One thing, not a whole new routine, not a planner, not waking up at 5 in the morning.
Not unless you actually want those things, but one genuine choice that reflects something you value, made today, not planned for some future version of yourself. Today.
I think I know what mine is. There's something I've wanted to work on for almost 2 years, and I keep saying I'll start when things are less busy. But things aren't going to get less busy, are they?
They rarely do. Busy is not a season. For most people, it becomes a permanent state unless something interrupts it deliberately. What's the thing you've been postponing?
I want to write. Not for anyone, just for myself. I used to do it when I was younger, and I stopped, and I've missed it without ever admitting that out loud before now.
Then that's where your time conversation begins. Not with a schedule or an app, with that, with the thing you just said out loud for the first time.
It feels both small and enormous at the same time, like it's just writing, but also it's not just writing at all.
That feeling is important. When something feels small and enormous at the same time, it usually means it's genuinely yours. Generic goals feel manageable but hollow. Real ones feel a little bit frightening.
I came in here thinking I needed tips, time blocking, prioritizing, all of that, and instead I'm sitting here realizing that I've been postponing the one thing that would actually make me feel like my time is mine.
Tips are useful once you know what you're protecting, but protecting nothing in particular is just organizing the emptiness. You now have something worth protecting.
That sentence is going to stay with me. Protecting nothing in particular is just organizing the emptiness. That's kind of devastating and kind of freeing at the same time.
That's usually how the honest realizations feel. Can I tell you something that surprised me about this conversation?
Of course.
You reminded me of something I needed to hear too. I spend a lot of time helping people find their thing, and somewhere recently I had started to treat my own work as a task to complete rather than something I chose because it matters to me. Listening to you just now reminded me of the difference.
Really? That's... I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was the one coming here to learn something.
The best conversations go both ways. That's what makes them real. Now, before you leave, one question. Not a homework assignment, not a challenge, just one question to carry with you.
I'm ready.
Tonight, before the day ends, what's one small thing you'll do that's genuinely yours?
I'm going to write one page. Just one. Not a chapter, not a project. One page tonight for no one but me.
That's enough. That's actually more than enough. That's everything.
Thank you. I genuinely didn't expect to feel this much lighter walking out of here. I thought I needed a better calendar system.
You needed permission to take yourself seriously, and now you've given it to yourself, which is the only place it was ever going to come from.
I'm going to remember this conversation for a long time, probably every Sunday afternoon when I feel that familiar slipping feeling.
And when you feel it, you'll know what to do.